Everybody. It's our second webinar as part of the Weekend to Conquer Cancer's Healthy Eating webinar series. My name is Stacey Carcao, and I lead the Weekend to Conquer Cancer event benefiting the Princess Margaret Cancer Center. Some of you may have joined us for a webinar that Rose did back in June at the beginning of the summer, but if any of you have ever participated in our event, then you know our guest speaker well. And even if you haven't walked before, then you likely will still know her from the many breakfast television appearances, listening to her on 680 News Food Bites, or because her cookbooks are in just about every Canadian kitchen. So, of course, I'm referring to the amazing Rose Reisman. She's an award-winning entrepreneur, caterer, author, and media personality, and not to mention a mother of 4 and grandmother of 3. As a registered nutritional consultant armed with an MBA, Rose has taken her passion for healthy eating and developed it into a multifaceted enterprise, making her one of Canada's leading authorities on the art of eating and living well. Rose has supported the Weekend to Conquer Cancer since 2017 as a sponsor, providing delicious and nutritious meals for our walkers, and also as a participant who fundraises too. We are grateful for her generosity and her willingness to shift with us as we transform the 18th year of our walk into a virtual edition. And thank you, Rose, for offering this webinar today and for all you do to help us conquer cancer in our lifetime. We hope that if you haven't registered yet, that you will do so. Please to walk with us on Saturday, or you can donate to a walker that you know, or find Rose on our website and donate to her. So before I hand the platform over to Rose, I just wanted to mention again that we have a chat section if you have any questions. And what we plan to do is ask those questions to Rose at the end of each of the 3 recipes. So we're going to start with the apple crumble because it will need to go in the oven to bake. And then we'll follow that up with the granola bar and the bites that are, I think, those are the ones I'm looking forward to the most because they've got chocolate in them. So, all right, well, without further ado, I'm going to be passing it over to Rose. So thank you again, Rose, for being here tonight.
Thank you. And I'm hoping, is this loud enough, Stacey? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine, and I'm gonna actually hide my screen now.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks so much for having me. Well, you know, I always like to talk a little bit before we start cooking. What a crazy 6 months it's been for everybody. I don't know about you, my life has not been dull in 6 months. My oldest daughter with the 3 children moved to Squamish, BC yesterday to a school. Her and her husband work full time, and they took the 3 kids with them. They wanted to go to a place where they didn't have to worry about COVID. My youngest son got married 4 days ago at my home outside. We had what I called the COVID wedding, 90 people. Everybody was outdoors, tested for, and it went beautifully. Everything was outside, no mingling, no dancing, but a lot of great spirits. So it's not been dull at all, but it's been good. And hope that we can all get back to normal and eat our wonderful food out, seeing each other, not just virtually. Okay, so I've got 3 really great recipes, easy to make, that I just love and keep in my home, you know, all year round. This is a seasonal one, but this is apple crisp with raisins, toasted almonds. Now, I made this the other day with peaches. I've made it with pears, plums. It's outstanding. Whatever you got goes. So I don't know if anybody's cooking along with me, but you might have to move quickly if you are. If not, you're going to start out with, now I have a recipe there that calls for double what I'm going to do now. I just cut it in half because I made a smaller dish, but the recipe in front of you will be double from what I'm saying, so not to be concerned. So I'm starting with some apples. Use any brand you want. What I don't usually like are the Macintosh. They're too soft. So Granny Smith is great. Let me see. The delicious apples are not bad, but I much prefer a sweeter apple like a Gala apple. And just a nice sweetness that you like. And you're going to peel it. You're going to take out the core. If you don't have one of these little gadgets, you can just, you know, take a paring knife and put it in. And then I'm going to slice it. So if you want, you could slice your fruit a day before, just put a little bit of lemon juice on it, and that won't brown, and keep it in the fridge. So I've got a few cups of apples stirred up here. And to this now I'm going to add a little bit of white sugar, a little bit of brown sugar, and the amounts are there, saving the brown sugar for the topping. Then I'm going to add some raisins. You could use dried cranberries, but I'm using dried cranberries in the next recipe, so I put raisins. Dried dates are sensational in here too. A tablespoon of cornstarch, and that's really just because of the liquid from the apples. Now, people ask me, can I use frozen fruit for this? Absolutely you can, but consider that there's going to be more water, so you might want to double up on your cornstarch. Then a little bit of cinnamon. I'm going to save some for my top as well. Cinnamon is always nice. And a tablespoon of lemon juice. And for this, feel free, if you want, you could use the bottle as well. That's it. The hardest thing is honestly peeling the apples, right? But you know, you could buy frozen fruit. I mean, you can go to Costco and buy some of the best frozen sliced fruit to use for this. But just remember, you don't need to defrost it. Just put in double the cornstarch. Okay, so you're going to mix this up really well. And then I'm going to put it into a dish. You're going to be called for a 13 by 9 inch, but because I cut this in half, I have a 9-inch square pan here. All right, just mix that up like this. And then the topping is really simple. I'm going to start out with some flour. Feel free to use half whole wheat flour if you want. Some large rolled oats. So you know when you buy rolled oats, you can buy small or large. For this crumble topping, I love the large. I'm going to use the small later. A little bit of oil. So normally these crisps are made with tons of butter and they are delicious, but there's no reason you need to have all that butter. I'm using a good monounsaturated oil, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of water. So you notice I'm adding a little bit of water to hold it together, and the sugar that we had left. Okay, and then I like to actually just use my fingers to get in on this. And this is a great square that you can make even a couple of days ahead, bake it right when you're ready to sit down with your company, whoever your bubble is, and have it with some delicious vanilla ice cream or some frozen yogurt. So just make sure it all comes together. If it's a little dry for you, just add a little more water. But I do always watch the fat in any recipe, and not, look, fat is not bad for you, especially not when we're using monounsaturated, but a fat is a fat is a fat, meaning that it adds up in calories. So now I'm just going to sprinkle this over top like this. So apples, pears, plums, blueberries, strawberries are fantastic in this. Then I'm going to bake this at about 375 degrees for about, oops, oh, and I know what I forgot, and I had it right here, you see. I toasted some almonds. So how do I toast them? I don't put it in an oven, too much of a pain, not even in a toaster oven, on a skillet for about 2 minutes on high. And this can just be sprinkled on top, or it can be mixed in. All right. You see how I had to fake that there, right? Because I forgot it. Put it in the oven, 375, 20, 25 minutes, just until it's nicely browned. And I will, the magic of television or Zoom, we have a beautiful crisp here. Hope you can see that. Then I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of icing sugar over top. This is fantastic to be served warm. It's a really lovely comfort dish this time of year. And as I say, summertime, just make it with berries, but it's really outstanding. And I better not eat this because I've been eating these kind of foods all day long. So that is it there. I'm going to give it a minute. I'm just going to go and get ready for our next recipe. But in the meantime, if you'd like to ask some questions, please do.
Heather asked if she could get a copy of the recipe.
Yeah, I think the recipes were mailed out, right? It was in the link I know that I received.
They're living right now on the website.
Okay.
And we sent them out via email to all participants who were registered when we sent the email out, and as well as on social media. Right. But Heather, if you'd like, if you aren't not able to locate it on the website, then please reach out to me, and I'll be able to send you a copy of that via email.
Great. And that's all the questions for now.
Okay, so if you want to, Stacy's now going to show you her talent singing and dancing while I set up for my next recipe.
Okay, I'll put my video on again, please, Gina Marie, and that'll be great. So I think while Rose is getting ready for the next recipe, then what I'll be able to do is talk to you guys a little bit about the Weekend to Conquer Cancer that's happening on Saturday. So we've got an opening ceremonies happening at 8:30 in the morning, and I encourage everybody, once you've got these recipes done, bring your breakfast granola bar along to have as a morning snack while you're doing the walk. And we are going to have opening ceremonies live streamed via Facebook and Instagram and on our website for about 15 minutes. So from 8:30 till 8:45. And it should be really inspiring. We're putting together a great roster of special guests to help us launch this first ever virtual walk for the Weekend to Conquer Cancer. And then what we're asking people to do is all day long take photos of themselves doing their walk or eating their healthy snacks with the hashtag walk on. And what we're going to be doing is gathering all those photos and videos throughout the day, and then highlighting our walkers, our amazing community of walkers, corporate teams, community teams, solo walkers, families, all walking at our closing ceremonies. So that'll be live streamed as well from 5 until 6 in the evening on Saturday. And so we're really encouraging as many people as possible to share their Weekend to Conquer Cancer moments so that we can compile them together and host a really amazing, memorable closing ceremonies. So that's a little bit of how the day is going to go. And I know I'm going to bring my granola bar, and I'm going to bring my chocolate power balls with me for later in the afternoon. And then I think when I get home, that's when I'm going to have this apple crumble, because after walking, I think I'm going to be walking about 15 kilometers on Saturday. So I'll definitely be ready for an apple crumble at the end of the day.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Excellent.
Something up on my, hold on.
Now I'm not seeing Rose.
Yeah, it should prompt you, Rose, just to share your video again.
Okay, it was shut off. Oh, let me see what happened there. Okay, hold on. Okay.
On.
Got you back. All right, everybody ready? Good. Okay. So now I'm going to make a really nice oatmeal square that you could wrap up and take with you. And again, I'm not making it with butter, so it tends to be a little softer. If you want it harder, make it with butter or coconut oil. Okay, so in 1 minute, I will have to go to the stove just to warm something up, but very simple recipe. And I'm just going to show you, if you can see here, we've already taken some squares out. They're delicious. These freeze really well too. And the best way to cut them is once you've made them, pop them into the fridge or the freezer, just so that you can cut it and keep them refrigerated so they keep their shape. But they're fabulous to take along with you. When I go for a long walk, I'll often pack a couple with me. So I'm starting out once again with about a 9-inch pan. And this is just some vegetable spray. Use what you want. I just bought this at Longo's, but I do tend to shop at Costco a lot. And what I'm starting off with in a skillet is about 1/4 cup of honey and 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Now, for me, peanut butter, again, this is Costco, but please, I urge you to only buy peanuts only. This is great. No icing sugar, no hydrogenated fat, not even salt. So buy this, and these are fantastic. Do keep them refrigerated, though, because peanuts can go rancid. And then to this, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar. And the trick to this recipe, if you don't heat this part up, it won't make them hold as well. A little bit of maple syrup, which I love. I also get big jars for really reasonable prices at Costco. Maple syrup like this, it will last you a year. A little bit of vegetable oil. little bit of cinnamon. And what I'm going to do for a moment, I'm just going to put this on the heat to warm up, and you're going to let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. So I will be right back.
Stacey, would you like your video again?
Sure, that sounds great.
All right, we're going to let that warm up for a minute. Now, for those of you that don't want, and I should show you, luckily my fridge is right over here. Let me see, actually my pantry is right here. There's something else that I buy at Costco that I love. If you've not seen this, it's called nut and seed butter. And I believe there's something like, oh, it's a delicious blend: cashews, almonds, chia seeds, Brazil nuts, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, and hazelnuts. It is so delicious, just on a cracker, or you could use it for something like this. If there's allergies or the kids are going to school, you can always get wow butter, and they are now making it without icing sugar and no hydrogenation. So this is just soybean, and it's a great substitute as well. Okay, so in the meantime, while that's cooking up, I'm going to be using here some large rolled oats, and then I'm using some puffed cereal. Now, it could be Rice Krispies, and they make Rice Krispies now whole wheat, or you could use any other puffed cereal that you want. Some people even put puffed quinoa in here. And then I'm going to add some toasted almonds again, but again, feel free to change these nuts. You could use pecans, peanuts, or you know, cashews, whatever you'd like. I'm using some dried cranberries. And a tip, because I've always cooked so much that I have fridges and freezers all over my house, where one freezer is just for dried fruit and dried nuts. And I actually store this, keeping it frozen, big bagfuls, and I never run out. So, you know, when you always just buy small amounts of the pong farm, you run out, buy enough, it stays in the freezer, nothing will go rancid. So now I'm going to go check on my peanut butter mixture. It should be ready. Okay, yeah, give me 1 second. All right. So that's nicely simmered away. It could have probably simmered for another minute or two, but just to give you an idea of what it looks like. And while this is still warm, we're going to pour this over top. And this is what's going to make it hold together so well. Okay, good to the last drop. Get everything in here. And you're just going to mix this together, and that's it. And then you're going to pat it out into your 9-inch or whatever pan you're using. And then again, if it gets a little sticky, it will be warm, so just be careful. But you can just have a little bit of water beside you. I always keep a little container of water, and then just so that you can bring it together with your fingers, and then we'll press it into the dish. And that is it. And if you're in a real rush and you want these right away, pop it in the freezer for about 10 minutes, and you end up with gorgeous little squares like this. So while I'm patting this in, let me know if there's any questions before we get ready for our energy bites. Any questions?
One of the participants actually asked about a full list of instructions like you're going through versus it looks like we just have the ingredient list on the website.
Oh, okay. So okay. So what I can send you, Stacey, is I can send you all the recipes, and I'm not sure if you can put that on the website and we can share it like that.
That would be wonderful, and absolutely we could find room for that on the website for sure.
Okay.
Thanks, Rose.
Susie also shared that that's her favorite peanut butter. It looks delicious. And Natasha asked if we could use quick oats instead of rolled oats.
Right. And I whip my hands now, much easier. You can see now how much easier it is for me to just pat this into the pan. Okay, so if you feel like it's getting sticky and it's feeling impossible, just do that. Pop this, if you want to eat this in an hour or 30 minutes, pop it into the freezer. Beautiful, you end up with a great dish. And then you'll see very, very easy to cut. Just get a little knife here. Here. And these are great squares to have on hand. And look at, if you really want, put some chocolate chips and you could make it a lot of fun. So as I say, they cut beautifully. Just keep them chilled to save for. Any other questions? No, we're good.
Are quick oats okay to use?
Yeah, you can. It's funny, like when I make the energy bites coming up next, it calls for quick oats, and once I use large and had a different texture, but I found as I rolled it more, it was fine. So usually when it calls for a certain type of oat, it always works out better if you have that oat, but absolutely you could substitute it without a problem.
Great, thank you. That's all the questions for now.
All right, so song and dance, Stacey, I'll be right back.
All right, I'll be back on then to explain about a little more that we've got offered up for the virtual, for the Weekend to Conquer Cancer virtuals event. One of the things is that we've got a customized Spotify list. So it's been curated by one of Toronto's leading DJs, Evolved Entertainment. And if you have Spotify, or you can search for the Weekend to Conquer Cancer playlist, or you can register on Spotify for free and find that playlist. And then it's about 3 hours of some great beats that'll help keep you motivated and walking. And then we've also got routes available for you to choose if you like to walk in different areas in the GTA. So we've got some routes that are passing by the Princess Margaret Cancer Hospital. We've got some routes that if you're a past walker, you might remember. So we've got some routes up at Boyd Conservation Area. We've got our the route that runs along the waterfront, the 15-kilometer route that we walked last year on the Friday evening. And there's a variety. There's also some that are going past the Colio wineries and Thornbury Cider House. So feel free to have a look on our website at some of the routes that we're offering. We also have them available in Strava for those of you who are on Strava, or again, you could join for free. And it's a great way to find wonderful routes, and the kilometers are all there, so you'll know exactly how long you're walking for. And if you're a registered participant in the participant center, we've got a voucher for some Colio Sangria that we're encouraging everybody to go and get for the closing ceremonies, so that we can toast together. For anybody that's participated before, they'll know not only Rose Reisman has been a sponsor year over year, but Colio has as well. So we're hoping to have people toasting with Colio. And during the walk, we've got our founding partner, CIBC, who has put together all sorts of picture frames that you can use for posting on social media, as well as some of the signs. Again, for those of you who will remember in past walks, CIBC has always brought these red signs that show the kilometers that you've walked, or you can customize and write a message in them. And so we've got those available in our participant center, so people can download and print them, or use them virtually as part of their posting on social media, again with a hashtag walk on. And it looks like Rose is ready again. So on to the energy bites. Oh, Rose, I think you're still muted. Oh, now you're unmuted.
You're good, Rose.
Okay, I like magic. I love energy bites, and if you take a look, I mean, every day I get so many newsletters in that to give me ideas for them. You can do anything you want with them, but again, this is something that I know Fresh, I believe that Fresh or Fresh sells these, and I think they're like, I don't know, $2 or $3 each. You can make them a lot cheaper at home, and they're absolutely delicious. These freeze well. They stay in a container. I'll just show you that I always have. Let me see if I can find them. Yeah, I always have in my fridge a container like this, because they're great for energy. And just to let you know that virtually, you know, all the little recipes I've done here, when you're talking about peanut butter, you're talking about fiber, you're talking about protein, you're talking about healthy fats, you're talking about complex carbs with the oats we're using. These are the foods that give you energy. So as opposed to a bag of potato chips or gummy bears, which are delicious, there's 0, 0, 0 nutrients. And it's not about a calorie being a calorie. It's really about what you're putting in your body. So I work out a lot. I work out 7 days a week, and I need energy. So often, you know, after a walk, if I just don't feel like a piece of fruit or some yogurt, I'll pop a couple of these energy balls in. And I'm telling you, the peanut butter alone and the oats fill me up. It's like a mini meal, and it's a delicious mini meal. So again, I'm doing this with some peanut butter. And I say in the recipe to add a little bit of vegetable oil. You don't need to if you've got a really nice smooth peanut butter, but if you use a chunkier peanut butter, or if you use wow butter, the soya butter is very thick. So a little bit of oil can't hurt in there. Then we're going to use about a cup, some quick rolled oats, okay? So the quick ones you can see are much smaller, all right? And they work better in this recipe. But again, if you use a larger oat, what you want to do is just roll it for a few minutes longer. I love coconut. I'm throwing some coconut in here. I can't help myself. Chocolate chips are the best. Some chocolate chips. Again, you could, you know, use nuts if you want, and a little bit of honey. Okay. And then all we're going to do is mix this up. And this is another one that's really good to use your fingers. I'll use it in a minute. Let's get it started like this. And these are delicious right after you mix them up. But again, you could refrigerate them if you want a harder texture. But these are so nice, just like this. And then up to you. I serve them just plain, or you can roll them in some coconut. So again, I'm just going to wet my hands, all right, and mix it together like this. And then some people find that you put this mixture in the fridge and it might roll a little better. That's fine, you can do that. But let's see how this rolls for me now. It should be okay. I mean, a little softer, but you can always just put it in the refrigerator or the freezer for a few minutes. Make a ball like this, and once you set it in the fridge, it will hold its shape beautifully. And up to you if you want to sprinkle some coconut over top. It will stick. It's really, really nice. And these are just sensational to have even at dessert. I mean, even when I have friends over, and you know, friends today, it's kind of tough to have friends over, but when I have my social bubble with the people I do hang out with, I'll serve this up instead of a dessert. It's really, really nice. So any questions on my little energy bites?
None so far.
All right, I mean, they're really easy. You can find ones. I have a new book coming out, actually. It should be in my hands any day now. It's called Meal Revolution. It's based on Canada's Food Guide, the new Canada's Food Guide, which is a more plant-based diet. And I've got energy balls. They're made with dates and cocoa, and they're just delicious. Dates is a key food in a lot of my desserts in this book. All right, we're good.
This is fantastic, Rose.
Well, I hope everybody does get a chance to make these. And I know, Stacey, I think you have the recipes, and we can post them up.
So I have my energy bars right here. I don't know if people can see, but I packed them in, and I'm going to be putting them in the freezer so that I can slice them up soon. And then I have all the ingredients for my energy ball right here, Rose, but I realized as I dug my hands into them that I wouldn't be able to unmute myself because my hands were so I'm stopping, and I'm going to finish it up after we end the webinar, because I definitely want
pretty easy to make, huh?
They were. It's just yeah, it's hard to mute and unmute when you're cooking, as you know. So, but I can't wait to have these recipes on hand when I'm walking on Saturday. So, I thank you so much, Rose. Let me just make sure before we leave that there aren't any extra questions or any other comments or queries that anybody might have for Rose or for me. And I'll remind everybody again that that Rose has been really generous with her time and with her recipes and her energy and her support of the Weekend to Conquer Cancer and the Princess Margaret Cancer Foundation. So we are super appreciative. And if any of you want to show your appreciation by donating to Rose's walk, she can be found on our website, and that would be wonderful. And thank you so much to all of you for joining us this evening, and especially to you, Rose.
Thank you, Stacy. And if anybody's interested, I've told Stacy I am starting the end of September a virtual cooking school. I used to have a cooking school 15 years ago, and I realized that people still love to cook. So I'll be doing, a longer version of what we've done here. How long have we been now, Stacy, on? Half an hour?
Yep, half an hour.
Half an hour. So I'll be doing classes of about an hour or more, and everything from, main Thanksgiving fare to fall fare to fall desserts. And that's going to be the end of September. So I'll be letting people know on Facebook and social media.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, no questions, but just a lot of positive comments. Everyone saying thank you, and that the recipes were even easier to make than they thought they would be. So that's much appreciated.
Excellent. Great. Take care, everyone. Good luck on the weekend, and let's raise a lot of money.
All right. Thanks, Rose.
Thank you.